mid-October, Sue, Willow, and I began a 2-week trip traveling from Columbus to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park for the fall colors. This was our 3rd visit to the Smokies in the fall, a beautiful time of year to visit. We stayed at the Elkmont Campground and the Cades Cove Campground in the National Park. Our plan included exploring much of the Great Smoky Mountains. We drove multiple times from Tennessee on US 441 over the mountains to the North Carolina side of the Smokies, with its many overlooks and stops, and then continuing our drive on the Blue Ridge Parkway to Balsam Mountain. We did a little off-road driving off the Cades Cove Loop, including the Rich Mountain Road and Parson Branch Road. We also drove the Little River Gorge Road multiple times, the Roaring Fork Road, and the Foothills Parkway with its many overlooks. We are chronicling our trip to the Great Smoky Mountains in a series of videos. This video, episode 2, provides highlights of our drive on the Roaring Fork Road just outside of Gatlinburg and our off-road adventures on the Rich Mountain Road and the Parson Branch Road. Early in our stay at Elkmont Campground, we took a short drive into Gatlinburg to enjoy the scenic Roaring Fork Road. This one-way narrow paved loop winds for about 6 miles through mountain forests, closely following the rushing waters of the Roaring Fork Creek. We were surrounded by dense woods where black bears are often sighted, though we didn't spot any on this drive. Along the way, the road reveals pieces of early 1900s history, including the Alfred Reagan Mill and Eli's Mill near the end of the loop. It was a peaceful, easy, and slow-paced journey, a great way to begin exploring the Smokies with close-to-nature hikes in our Jeep. See. Next up is an off-road adventure on the Rich Mountain Road near the Cades Cove Campground. Accessed from the Cades Cove Loop Road, this one-way 12-mile route traces its origins to Native American paths that were expanded in the early 1800s into a turnpike connecting Cades Cove with the Townsend area. Once used by farmers and families moving livestock and goods across the mountains, the road still reflects its rugged past. As it winds along the ridgeline, dense forest gives way to sweeping mountain views, and the slow, careful drive echoes the challenges early settlers once faced. With steep grades, narrow stretches, and a true sense of remoteness, Rich Mountain Road remains a raw and historic passage through the Smokies, where adventure and history are forever linked. Here's the entrance to the Rich Mountain Road with
all the road down below us there. Stop again. Stop.
Our final off-road trip took us to Parson Branch Road, accessible only from the Cades Cove Loop Road near the Visitor Center and continuing on to the Forge Creek Road. This short but rugged backcountry route, where four-wheel drive, high-clearance vehicles are recommended, offers one of the Smokies' most remote driving experiences. The narrow one-way 8-mile gravel road winds through dense forest with little sign of modern development. Steep grades, rocky surfaces, and tight curves demand slow, careful driving, making the journey both challenging and rewarding. The quiet of the drive was broken only by tires crunching on gravel and the sound of mountain streams as we crossed them. Parson Branch feels raw and purposeful, much as it would have when early settlers used it to move through the mountains. Unlike roads designed for sightseeing, we encountered no other traffic, seeing only two older gentlemen who appeared to be quietly taking in the views. The solitude allowed us to stop often, giving Sue time to capture photos of the deep seclusion and vibrant fall colors, and giving us moments to simply absorb the stillness around us. Though relatively short, the drive leaves a lasting impression and served as a fitting finale to our off-road adventures in the Smokies, remote, demanding, and deeply connected to the land. We're on the Cades Cove Loop, heading over to Parsons Road, but it is slow rolling on the Cades Cove Loop. Hold on, I gotta keep this momentum going.
Okay,
one there. As we exited Parson Branch Road onto US 129, we found ourselves suddenly on the famous Tail of the Dragon, greeted by the roar of sports cars and motorcycles, a complete contrast to the quiet seclusion we had just left behind. Despite the abrupt change in atmosphere, a couple of roadside photographers managed to capture our moment on this iconic stretch of road as we headed back. Looking back, our Smoky Mountain driving adventures began on the peaceful Roaring Fork Road, where a narrow paved loop followed rushing streams, shaded forests, and historic mills. From there, we ventured deeper into the park's backcountry, trading pavement for gravel and solitude on the rich mountain and Parson Branch roads. These historic routes, once used by Native Americans and early settlers, challenged us with steep grades and rocky surfaces while rewarding us with sweeping views and deep seclusion. Together, these drives offered a powerful contrast, from gentle scenic cruising to raw backcountry exploration, and left us with a deeper appreciation for the Smokies and the people who once traveled these same mountain paths.